So this presentation is on Vitalence PA. This is inflammation and pain modulation, and it was compiled by myself, Joan van Wijngaard, and I'm a pharmacist. So first question is usually, what is PEA? So that stands for palmitoyl ethanolamide, and it is something that's naturally present in your body. You actually secrete it when you do have pain. Say, for instance, you cut your finger, it's sore, then it's less sore, then it's very sore again. So for that period where it was less sore, you actually secreted some PEA, and it's one of the most under-recognized but well-researched pain modulators that we have available. So a bit of the history of PEA. It was discovered in 1957. It was actually predominantly for allergies. There's more than 50 years of safety data on this ingredient. So it was first isolated from egg yolk and lecithin as well. And the initial studies were all focused on allergy research, mast cells as well. And then later you'll see the majority of the studies is more focused on joints, osteoarthritis, pain and inflammation. So how does PEA work? I usually say to people it's similar to CBD. It works on the endocannabinoid receptors. It activates your PPAR alpha receptor, and this works upstream where, for instance, your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs all work downstream by blocking your inflammatory pathway. They block your COX enzymes, and this reduces prostaglandin production. But as you all know, long term, these leads to some undesired effects. But what PEA does is it blocks upstream the body's own pain regulating system. So if I have to put this into a picture, see inflammation as a building that's on fire. And non-steroidal anti-inflammatories is like spraying water to the flames. It reduces the flames, but not the reason why there was a fire in the first place. PEA restores the faulty alarm system and stops what caused the fire in the first place. So what is the benefit of PEA? So it's not a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. We just established that it works different. It's not an opioid. It's similar to CBD, but it's very, very safe. There's no THC component to it as well. It does not suppress any pathways. It does not cause dependency. It's got no effect on your liver or your kidneys. And it is something that is naturally secreted by your body. But if you have chronic pain, then obviously these levels are affected. So can PEA replace your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs? No, it's not a replacement, especially not in the acute phase. So as we said, your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs act downstream. They inhibit your COX enzymes. Therefore, you have less prostaglandins. PEA acts more upstream, and it modulates your neuroimmune signaling. So they target different levels of the inflammatory cascade, but they're very good to use together, especially initially. PEAs could apply tropic effects, so if you use it with COX inhibitors or antioxidant, it actually enhances its effect. So PEA is something that somebody can add on. Obviously, there's no side effects, no effect on the liver or the kidney. So if it is somebody that cannot, for some other reason, use non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, then PEA is a very good substitute. So why would you want to use them together initially? It's because they manage the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, manage the symptoms. PEA addresses the underlying inflammatory dysregulation. This is quite key to remember as well. That's why there's a lot of later studies also showing that PEA is very beneficial when it comes to diseases that are linked with inflammation as well. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. One of the studies last year was for menstrual pain as well. So it is very good for inflammation, especially if you're worried about the side effects. So most people that use PEA are your chronic pain patients that are taking some other anti-inflammatory drugs on a daily basis. So usually if they want to, they can start taking the PEA, add it on, allow time for this to really work. I would say 2 to 4 weeks, and then they can start to gradually reduce their non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and then continue with the PEA. If you read the studies regarding PEA, you'll see that there's a dosing strategy as well. Usually they recommend people take a higher dosage for the beginning, maybe the first 6 weeks, followed by a maintenance dose as well. The dosage that they refer to is 600 milligrams. That is the normal grade PEA. The loading dose is then 600 milligrams twice a day, and then after 6 weeks you can reduce to 600 milligrams daily. It gets broken down very fast, it doesn't accumulate in your body, and long-term benefit comes from cellular regulations and obviously not the plasma levels, because you break it down within, I think, the first 2 hours. So I always tell people, if you have an acute issue, you can rather take PEA more frequently than taking a higher dosage. So you can take the 500 or 600 milligrams every 2 to 3 hours, even for people that want to take it during endurance events. The reason why you can do this is there's a short plasma half-life. It doesn't build up in the body, it gets broken down immediately, and the effects continue. So you have that improved neuroimmune balance, so it resets the system. So the longer you use it, the better the effects would actually be. So just to put it into perspective, so you've got PEA versus your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, the short-term versus the long-term roles. So your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory is very good for short-term symptom control, but then obviously there's a higher risk of side effects. PEA is suitable for long-term use. There's no COX inhibition. Remember, it's rather modulation and on an upstream level. No organ toxicity concerns, not metabolized by your liver or your kidneys, and it supports inflammatory homeostasis. So it is a very good product to use long-term, especially for people that have chronic issues that would require long-term supplementation. So where does PEA fit in for the pharmacist then? So it's not an opioid, it's not a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, it's not sedating, there's no dependency risk. It's suitable for people with chronic pain, neuropathic pain, very good for this, especially people with sciatica and those type of issues where it's not the joint, it's the nerve that's very irritated. Patients that say they cannot use non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or people that need something to support them on a long-term basis. So one thing to remember is that absorption matters. So standard PEA absorbs poorly, even though the studies were done with 600 milligrams twice a day. That's quite a high dosage. That does have an effect, but as you can see, that's not such a low dosage. Micronized PEA absorbs much better. That means micronized, that the particle size is much smaller, and you can have a lower effective dose. So 600 milligrams of the normal grade PEA is equal to 400 milligrams of the micronized one. Vitadurance uses the micronized one, and the capsules have 500 milligrams of micronized PEA per capsule. So I said that PEA is one of the most studied compounds out there. So if you had to do a literature search on all the studies that have been done, it's been studied in neuropathic pain, joint pain, osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia, exercise recovery. This is one of the new ones. You know, a lot of people do a lot of exercise and really battle to recover. It definitely makes a difference. A lot of top athletes are using this for recovery. And then one thing that people don't know about PEA is that it has a white paper on immunity. So a lot of people start taking it for pains or for recovery, and then start realizing they don't get sick anymore. So that is something that's very, very nice as well, as a type of a side effect, that it supports your immune system as well. And then what is very important is that it's got an exceptional safety profile, no effect on your liver or kidneys, and no known drug interactions as well.